Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed an entire surah of the Holy Quran relating to this day of Jum'ah, this day of Friday. From this we can see how important this day is in the life of a Muslim, that for this day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the entire surah, which Maulana recited in the Fajr Salah this morning. It is called Surah Jum'ah. And it is to emphasize the importance of this day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the most superior day of the week as the believers. The Christians chose Saturday. When they were given a choice of a day of worship, they chose Saturday. The Jews were given a choice. They chose, the Christians chose Sunday. The Jews were given a choice. They chose Saturday. And this ummah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the best day of the week. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us Friday. And this is the day in which Allah created Adam alayhi salam. This is the day in which Adam alayhi salam passed away. This is the day on which Qiyamah will be heralded in. And this is the day wherein all the blessings of the week are combined and encapsulated in this one day, that is this day of Jum'ah. So we are very fortunate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the best day in the week from all the nations of the world. When our beloved Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam arrived in Madinah at the time of the Hijra, then the first stop was at Quba. And he remained in Quba, different narrations, according to one narration for 4 days, and in another narration he remained there for 15 days. But then he entered, after spending the days in Quba, in which time the first Masjid was established and constructed, Masjid Quba, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises in the Quran, is لَمَسْجِدٌ أُسِّسَ عَلَى التَّقْوَى مِنْ أَوَّلِ يَوْمٍ أَحَقُّ أَن تَقُومَ فِيهِ رِجَالُ يُحِبُّونَ يَتَطَهَّرُوا وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُطَهِّرِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised the musallis of that Masjid of Quba. And that's the first Masjid. And therefore Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, every Saturday morning, he would go to Quba, imma raqiban or imma mashiyan. Either he used to go riding, or sometimes he used to go take a walk to Quba, and he would go and read a few rakats of Nafil Salah, and he declared the reward of that is equivalent to an Umrah. So then, when he decided to make his entry into Madinah, then it was Yawmul Jum'ah, it was on a Friday, and as he was entering the outskirts of Madinah, the time of Jum'ah had set in, and Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam led the Muslims in the first Jum'ah Salah in Madinah. And till today there is a masjid right there, very close to Masjid Quba, and it is called Masjidul Jum'ah. Masjidul Jum'ah is one of the main landmark masjids of Madinah Munawwara. Like we have Masjidul Qiblatain, and we have Masjidul Quba, and there's Masjidul Ijaba, and there's Masjidul Fatah. These are those masajid that are landmarks of the beautiful memories of Madinah in the time of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And one of these masjids is Masjidul Jum'ah, and the first Jum'ah was performed by our beloved Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam at Masjidul Jum'ah, and thereafter he made his arrival into the town of Madinah itself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us a special salah of this day, and that is the Salatul Jum'ah. And this Jum'ah Salah is with the two khutbahs, and they are great rewards for the people who honor this day of Jum'ah, and they carry out the important actions of this day of Jum'ah. In one hadith, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned such a great virtue that very few actions carry that virtue, like the virtue of coming for Jum'ah with certain conditions. Number one, a person must come, in a state of wuzu, and then he must come as early as possible, and then he must listen attentively whilst the khutbah is in progress, and then he must not do any frivolous act whilst the khutbah is in progress, and he must come as close as possible at the time of Jummah to the front of the masjid. And if he does these actions, then Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says that for every step that he takes to the Jummah, he gets the reward of 1 year of ibadat. Imagine if we walked whatever distance, for every step we're getting that reward. What a huge reward just to honor the day of Jummah and to honor the Salatul Jummah. So therefore, dear brothers, let us always give special importance to the day of Jummah. In that narration also is about taking the ghusl and taking a proper bath for Jummah and applying one's itar and coming clean for the Jummah Salah. So we should try to honor this day as best as possible. The day of Jummah is a day of various amal. The Surah Kahf to recite is a nur for a believer from one Jummah to the next Jummah. And it is a protection from the fitna of Dajjal whenever Dajjal will appear. And not only just at that time when Dajjal will come, but all the days and periods before the arrival of Dajjal, what we call the pre-Dajjal era, which we are living in, that all those who read the Surah Kahf will be protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the pre-Dajjal era. So we should try our best to read the Surah Kahf, Surah Yasin, and we should increase in our other good deeds and try and give some charity on this day of Jum'ah and recite durood on this day of Jum'ah and then make dua on this day of Jum'ah. The moment of acceptance of dua Allah has kept hidden, but the ulama say it is mainly from the time of the first azan of Jum'ah till the end of the Jum'ah Salah. That is the one time of acceptance, and the other time of acceptance is from Asr till Maghrib. That is a very special time also of Jum'ah, and we should spend the time in reciting durood upon Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. If possible, we should do some extra good deeds, feeding the poor and visiting the sick and so on, so that the rewards can be multiplied, because any good deed that is done on Jum'ah is multiplied 70 times compared to any other day of the week. So we should give special importance to this day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given importance to it in the Quran. The whole surah is revealed on this day, and the surah is named on this day. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha nudiya lis-salah bi yawmil jum'ah fas'aw ila dhikrillahi wa dharul bay'. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the believers that when you hear the azan for Jum'ah, then rush to the Jum'ah Salah. For the Salah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said you must hasten and rush. But when it came to Rozi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Famshu fi manakibiha. Walk and go and earn your Rozi. You don't have to run. But for these things, rush and go so that you do not get left behind and you are not the last, because as the people come for Jum'ah, the earlier we come, the greater is the reward. Those who come the earliest, it is as if they slaughtered a camel. Then those who come after that, it is as if they slaughtered a cow. Then it is as if a person slaughtered a goat. Then it is as if he slaughtered a chicken. And then it is as if he gave an egg. And those who come once the khutbah starts, they are marked absent. They are not even marked present for the Jum'ah. So we should try to reach the Masjid early and try and be in Ibadat and try and maximize the rewards of this day. There are people in Madinah Sharif even today that from Tahajjud time they go for Jum'ah. They'll only come out after Jummah Salah is over. They will not come out of the Masjid till Jummah is over. That is how much of eagerness people have for this day of Jummah. Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq. That whatever we are able to manage, we should try to do, inshallah ta'ala. And encourage people there. Today we are finding there are people who are not even reading Jummah Salah. Because of work or other such circumstances, they are not reading Jummah. And Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam warned those people who miss 3 Jummahs consecutively without a valid reason. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seals their heart. No goodness will enter their hearts. No goodness will enter their hearts. And there's a fear that it must not happen that they lose their iman. So we should try to encourage friends and colleagues and even people and co-workers and whoever, if we see they're not reading their Jum'ah, encourage them and try to, facilitate for their going for the Jum'ah so that not a single Muslim misses out on the Jum'ah Salah. And when we come for Jum'ah, let us come fully prepared and let us, absorb the mercy of Allah at the time of Jum'ah, and we should not be distracted because the rewards are destroyed when we engage in any frivolous act. We find today people are playing with their phones, Jum'ah time, in the Masjid, the Bayan is on. There's no interest in listening to any advice and nasiha. Our hearts have become sealed. Allah forgive us. And then the phone is open and people are looking in their phones. Whilst the Jummah Bayan is on in the Masjid, people are talking, people are joking, people are laughing, people are standing outside and talking stories and just waiting just to come last in and first out. Last in and first out. Ya Allah, this day of Jummah is supposed to be first in and last out. But it's the other way around. And this is because the importance of the day of Jummah is not in front of the people. So they want to come right at the end, just to show face, as they say. And then as soon as Jummah is over, without even reading the sunnats of Jummah. This is the day of ibadah, this is the day of reward, this is the day of sunnats. Without even reading the sunnats of Jummah, people rush out of the Masjid like a bird is flying out of a cage. Allah Ta'ala save us from a bad attitude and disrespect to the day of Jum'ah. And Allah imbue us with the love of this day and the honor and respect of this day. Allah guide us all. Wa akhiru da'wana.